All right, so here we are. Hope you guys all had a good winter Christmas break. We've got 2 more weeks left in the semester, so we got this week and in next week of assignments. So make sure you stay on top of stuff, and we should be done with this pretty shortly. This week we're going to look at planning for your future. Um, why plan for it? Future planning involves setting goals, creating a roadmap to achieve them. Some benefits to planning: it provides direction and purpose. It's going to help you manage resources effectively, and you're going to reduce stress by preparing for unseen circumstances, things that may come up. Um, Again, we're going to look at SMART goals. We've looked at them already before. Um, Specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. An example of a good SMART goal is I'm going to save $10,000 for college within the next 3 years. So remember, it is specific, $10,000, not a lot. It is measurable. Can I look at $10,000? Can I determine if I hit $10,000? If I say I'm going to save a lot of money, what is a lot? How do I measure when I've hit a lot? For most of us, $100 is a lot of money, but that's not nearly what we're trying to do. Is it achievable? Are you working? Are you doing the things necessary to save that? Is it relevant? Yeah, it's going to help me pay for college. And time bound, within 3 years. If I say I'm going to save $10,000, well, you know what? I probably got another good 45 years left in my life, so maybe I'll do it before then. The importance of education and career planning. Education increases earning potential. So career planning should help align skills with job opportunities. Some action steps you can take: research potential careers, identify the required skills in education. If I want to become a teacher, what education do I need to become a teacher? What skills do I need? If I wanted to switch my career, let's say I wanted to become a mechanic, I would need the necessary skills to work on vehicles, but I would also need the education to back it up with certifications and everything else. So within that, I should be looking at short-term and long-term goals. Managing money to meet those future needs. So we've looked at it before: creating a budget, building an emergency fund. How long should I save up for? Is having $100 in the bank is having $100 in the bank enough, or do I need to save $5,000? So we need to save for some of those long-term goals, whether it's college, a vehicle, retirement. The role of budgeting. A budget helps you manage income and expenses. We've done some budgeting stuff in this course as well. With budgeting, we're going to avoid going into debt. It is going to encourage that saving, and we can help track what we are spending, where we are spending, how much we are spending. Building that emergency fund. Saving set aside for unexpected expenses. Do you get injured and you can't work? Does the company you work for go out of business? If you're a mechanic and you work at a garage, what happens if the owner of that business makes some dumb choices and now that business is no longer open? You're not getting paid anymore. What are you going to do? Why it's important? It provides financial security during emergencies. So if you unexpectedly end up out of work for a month or two, or up 3, it gives you the chance to find another job. It gives you the chance to be okay. It doesn't just destroy everything you have going on. So the recommended amount to save up is 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses. So not necessarily 3 to 6 months of your current salary or your current income, but how much do you actually spend in those 3 to 6 months? Because if an emergency came up, could you cut out everything fun, everything unnecessary, and only spend money on what needs to be spent? Power of compound interest. Interest earned on both the principal and previously earned interest. So, see their example. You have a savings of $1,000 at a 5% interest, can grow significantly over time. So, $1,000, 5%, that's $50. Now you've got $1,050. And the next time it accrues, you're looking at 5% of that $1,050. And that's why you want to start saving early. this month, this year, you might only make $50 or $100. But you know what? Next year it's more, and the year after it's more, and the year after it's more. And that increases substantially over time. Diversification in investing. You want to make sure you spread investments across various assets to reduce risk. You know, if I have all of my money in AT&T stock, well, what happens if AT&T goes under? Aaron. Gotcha. Okay, sorry, that was something for the maintenance here. Where are we at? Diversification. Making sure you spread it out. You can't have all your money in a savings account. You're not going to gain much money, and if something happens, it's all gone. If all of your money is invested in AT&T stock, well, like I said, if AT&T decides to file for bankruptcy and you lose it all, you have nothing now. So the idea is to spread it out, spread your investments into various different areas. It's going to protect against fluctuations. So if we invest all in telemarketing and all of a sudden telemarketing starts to tank, that's all your money tanking. But if you have some in telemarketing, you've got some invested in General Motors, you've got some invested in a computer company or Tesla, it spreads things out. You're going to ensure a little bit of balance and growth, but also if something bad happens, you're not going to lose everything all at once. Networking is key. And this is a skill you've got to learn. Say this in the nicest way I can, but a lot of you younger kids, especially now, we've learned we can do everything online. Well, networking is the ability to build relationships, build them with people, real live humans. If you are uncomfortable talking with people, you're going to be very uncomfortable building relationships and networking. So this is a skill you need to practice. You need to get out of your shell and get used to. Ways you can do it: going to school events, internships, community organizations. You know, when I first started working in Brown City, I started volunteering with the city itself to speak at Memorial Day events. I started volunteering in other scenarios, put myself out there. So now, you know what? Not only do people I work with here at middle school, high school know who I am, but also the mayor knows who I am. And, you know, she's got my number. I've got her number. We speak once in a while. I know a lot of the business owners in the area. And within that, let's say something happened next month or at the end of this school year and I needed to find a new job. Well, now I have all these different people who I have networked with that I can go to looking for work. I can use them as references. I can use them for letters of recommendation. So if I apply for a job somewhere here in Brown City and now you've got letters of recommendation from Mr. Kohler here at the school district and the mayor and whoever else, it looks good on me. It's going to help me in the future. We've talked before about balance. You got to balance your work life and your social life, your life. Prioritize tasks. You know, there's things through work, like making this presentation right here. I've known for several weeks that I had to do this. But at the same time, it's my Christmas break. It is my time with my family. It is my time to get away from work. So I prioritized time for myself and time for my family, and now it's Sunday at almost noon, and I'm getting this done. I set boundaries for personal time. My phone shuts off, I believe it's 7 o'clock every evening. I don't get work emails. I don't get phone calls. I don't get anything. The only people that can get through are my wife, my kids, my parents. Other than that, it can wait. Making time for hobbies and relaxing, especially during the summer and the warmer months. I get up and go fishing. There's days where I still come into work, we still have school, but I've already fished for an hour or two in the morning, and that's relaxing to me. That's what I enjoy. Promoting overall well-being and prevents burnout. If all I do is come into work and deal with work and handle work, and then go home and I've got phone calls about work and I'm checking emails every evening, my family life is going to suffer. My kids are going to suffer. My wife's going to suffer. I am no longer going to be a happy human being. How am I going to successfully do my job if I'm not even a happy human being? So I've got to separate those two, enjoy what I need to enjoy, and then also be able to work hard when it's time to work hard. Creating a vision board. It's a visual representation of your goals and aspirations. Best way is to create it. Identify your goals. What goals do you have? Right now, your goal might be to graduate high school or to start a college or start a trade school. So gather images and quotes and things that inspire you and drive you, and arrange them up on a board. You know, in the Marine Corps, we just call it the motivation board. It's things that we wanted, things that meant something to us. You know, why was I here? Why was I fighting? Why did I do what I wanted? Do what I was doing? It's a motivation board. It's a vision board. You got to develop resilience. It's the ability to adapt and recover from challenges. Some of you during this class, you've done a very good job of it. You've had a bad week, a bad couple weeks, missed a bunch of assignments, things gone wrong, and you deal with those challenges head on and you come back stronger. That's part of what I want out of this course. That's part of why I allow people to make mistakes and still continue to be successful. Strategies, set realistic goals. I am not going to make my goal for the next 10 years to save $1 million. I'm not going to make that much money in 10 years. I might make my goal to have $10,000 in the bank, or I might make my goal to increase my stocks or increase whatever else by a certain specific amount. Maintain a positive mindset. We all have bad days. I have bad days and I come in here to work. But one of the biggest things to try to drive into my students is tomorrow's a new day. Every day something could go wrong. Today could be a horrible day. But you know what? If you're still alive and kicking, you've got tomorrow. And seek support from family and friends. For this, the resilience thing, I'll tell a quick little story. When I got back from Iraq, the very first thing, we got off a plane in a small little base in California. And AT&T was there, gave us all phones and said, like, hey, call your parents, call your family, call your wife, whatever you had. And at the time, I wasn't married or anything, so I called my dad. Like, hey, Dad, I'm home. I'm back in the U.S. And first thing he said to me was, anybody try to shoot you today? No. Anybody try to blow you up today? No. Well, then it's a good day, isn't it? He used some choice words, not necessarily those words, but it's a good way for me to look at life right now. If I have a horrible day, I come into work, kids are unruly, I've got assignments went to garbage, this didn't work out well, I had a plan for something and it went bad. You know what, it could be worse. I could be back in Iraq, I could be getting shot at, I could have people trying to blow me up. So you know what, yeah, I can get through it. And I get through today, and tomorrow's a new day and it's better. And then in a little while, I have a worse day than I had today. Well, you know what? I've been through this. I can get through that too. And I can get through more. And you start to realize that life isn't that difficult. You become tougher. You become better. And you can get through anything. Long-term planning. A lot of long-term goals that people tend to look at. Buying a home, starting a family, saving for retirement. There are steps to achieve them. And you got to break them into smaller milestones. I can't buy a home if I don't have a consistent job. If I make $5,000 this month, but next month I only make $1,000, how am I going to make a payment on a home? How am I going to know that I'll be able to make that payment? With starting a family, if I don't even put myself out there to meet people, how am I going to meet a spouse and start a family? Part of that planning needs to be, the right process, not just jumping into it with the first person you can. Because then you start a family and you end up divorced and whatever else. With starting for retirement, start today. Whatever today is for you, start it. And it doesn't need to be a lot yet. You can save $20 a month, $10 a month now, and it will add up to a ton when retirement comes. So, some takeaways I hope you guys get out of this one. Planning helps you achieve your goals and manage uncertainties. SMART goals provide structure and clarity, and financial and career planning are essential. some things I just want you to think about yourselves. What are your personal goals for the next 5 to 10 years? So some of you, I don't think there's any freshmen in this course, but there may be. Let's say sophomores and up. So you're roughly 16 to 17 or 18 in this class. So that means some of you are going to be 20, 21. Some of you are going to be 23, not quite 24, in the next 5 years. That's a huge difference. 16 right now, you might be wondering, when can I drive? Or, my mom and dad just gave me this vehicle. In 5 to 10 years, you could be looking at, I've got a 3-year-old toddler, and I need to find a better job, and I don't have health insurance. So start setting those goals up for now. Where do you see yourself? And how are you going to plan for them today? What is your first steps? Always plan for the most difficult. Always plan for what you want it to be. And over time, it will progress and turn into something bigger. So hopefully that was helpful. Make sure you complete everything this week. I will have grades entered here hopefully by the end of the night or tomorrow morning. And we will move forward from there.